Hello everyone and welcome to episode 20 on the Ironman profile where I've been doing a bit of grinding off camera. If we come over to Agatha, we have 6 events to claim, all of a variety of different things, so we'll bulk claim. And there we go, Heart of the Forest tier 5, Skyblock level 370, HOTF, and I've also got 657, nearly 658,000 Forest Whispers free. So we'll definitely want this. Tree give 200 extra Forest Whispers, and then Foraging Fortune. Now, why do I have so much Forest Whispers saved up? Well, it means that we can do this. And there we go. That's a max center of the forest. Now that should have given us like 2.5 levels. I'm not gonna question that. Right, so what did that give us? Right, so it gave us what's that, 10% sweep, or is that 15% sweep in total? Maybe, not sure. 2 extra tokens of the forest. 2 Forest Whispers per fig or mangrove log cut, and 20 extra Forest Whispers per tree gift. Okay, so Forest Whisper grinding will be a lot easier. So with our 2 tokens of the forest, obviously we can't go up to here yet because we're not tier 6. So pressure resistance. Do we have anything that will help us today with our hunting? Let's have a little look. Tree gifts. No, so we'll just do these 2. I mean, pressure resistance is nice. How much Forest Whispers do we have? 7,000. Yeah, we'll just put it into deeper waters. Right, so what's the plan for today? I was looking at the attribute menu, and there's actually quite a few unique attributes. So the one that I had my eyes on is not actually to do with foraging, but if we do /attribute menu, there's like different classes of attributes. Obviously you got like your basic, global foraging, fishing, that sort of stuff, but then there's also like other classes. So I was looking at the shulker class, and I mean, like, the basic one that you get, block fortune, okay, fair enough, but then if we look over here, grants 5% chance to find an extra item in treasure chest and the crystal nucleus. So that means our nucleus runs will be more efficient. So what do we need to do? We need to fuse a shulker family with a cave dweller family. Right, so shulker family is like, this is the easiest one, mossy boxes. Now, how do you get that? Because, I was looking around before, and you eventually find some shulker boxes. They're usually in around the place, yeah, like down here. Right, there's a shulker box, although this is in a really awkward spot. I'll see if I can do it. But what you do is you try to open them by basically just going on top of them, like that, and then they'll shoot out a bullet, like that, and the idea is to hit the bullet back. Now that's in a really annoying spot, so I'll just quickly go and find a better one to give a demonstration. Alright, I found one here. It's, in a better spot. My frames are dying for whatever reason, so if you just sort of come over it, and then you want to step back, and then it shoots this shulker bullet, and you sort of just hit it back a bunch of times, and it'll say the hide on leaf lost fight, and then you get hide on leaf shards, which are these ones. So these ordinarily give block fortune, however when you fuse them with any cave dweller family, then you can get that one for the crystal hollows. I think there is also another one if we do /attribute menu. Further down, I mean, like all of these are like really useful. So extra Kudra teeth, accessory bag slots, that's also really useful. If we have a look at this, you can get up to 10 extra accessory bag slots. What is this? Your sacks can hold up to 10% more items. Shulker family and rare or higher with an epic or higher, so that might be a bit difficult because you'd have to fuse, I don't know, yeah, that'd be difficult because you'd have to fuse up to you know, a rare Shulk family. So Shulk family with Demon family, or Shulk family with Wither family, and then you'd have to fuse this, as far as I'm aware, because you can only get it through fusion. But yeah, there was one more. Yeah, there's tuning points up here, which is very nice as well. So yeah, but I swear there was another one. It might be in the cave dweller, because we do need to get some cave dwellers. We need to get that family, so you know, ordinarily these are like, this is alright. Heart of the Mountain XP, Gemstone Powder, that's nice. Obviously with max Gemstone Powder, so it doesn't really matter. Mining speed from events is increased by 10%. Yeah, that's probably good. Glaciite Powder, very nice, but you know, that looks pretty complicated to do. Extra charges on the Fossil Excavator. Like, if you max this out, then that's just a free extra charge. This one is a very good one. We definitely want to get this at some point. So you get it from killing Bow whilst having Assault active. So each block you mine has a plus 10% chance to grant 1 extra pristine for that block. That's great. So technically it's like 0.1 pristine, but you know, whatever. You got the Ghost Shard, which is true defense, which I'd say is probably a relatively easy one to get, because it's just eat Assault and kill ghosts. And then Mining Wisdom, which you don't really need. But yeah, then basic mining speed from this Rotten Pickaxe. But it's only 30, so it's not that much of an increase. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this Ghost Shard. We might max it out, it's only 32, and then we'll go ahead and get the other, because although we only need a bog standard cave dweller family, I'd argue that killing ghosts is probably the fastest way of getting them, because the other ones require like black holes and stuff, and if you got lapis nuns, you know, killing the lapis zombies that don't seem to understand the foraging update, and that if they are whacking a mob with 1 health, that generally means that if they haven't died already, they won't die anytime soon, and that's just somewhat annoying. Although we do need 64 of these shards, and I'm fairly sure it's like a 5-to-1 ratio, so that means that we'll need 320 of these Hide on Leaf shards, alongside the 96 to obviously get the block fortune, and then, you know, if we want any of these, that's going to be pretty hard. Pretty hard, actually. But, you know, we might as well start now. And then once we get this, I mean, that's probably the maximum efficiency when it comes to doing Crystal Nucleus runs, unless we wait for, like, I don't know, 7 updates down the line where they slightly increase the odds or something. But yeah, this will definitely be nice. And it's only 64 shards, which isn't actually a whole lot. And that gives a plus 50% chance to find an extra item in treasure chests and Crystal Nucleus. Alright, so we've prepared now, and we can pretty much one-tap the ghosts, which is good. However, obviously the salt takes a while, but you can do it with pocket black holes. So if I put, let's say, my giant sword in this hunt axe, it does massively decrease the damage, which is somewhat unfortunate. But then I can put down a pocket black hole, and it'll get consumed and guaranteed give me a shard. The only issue is I die pretty fast. But I think there's still one more upgrade that I can do to the hunt axe. So I think I'll quickly grind that out and then see how much of a damage improvement it gives. Also, I'm half hoping that because this is technically a golden weapon, the golden dragon also buffs it by, I think it's like 100 strength. Which would be nice. Let's have a little look. Yeah, it looks like it, because that's a lot of strength that it's been given. And I don't think, yeah, Giant Soul doesn't give that much strength. Alright, if we do recipe vine, we have enough enchanted vine sap for that, and then recipe then we can make this. Yes, it keeps the giant sword, so that's a much better hunt axe now. Also, if we go to Agatha, we can claim these two, and we have reached the next Agatha's milestone. So yeah, that's great. So at tier 5, that's the maximum. So what else have we got? We got a fighting booster. What else have we got? A foraging level cap. But we know when they are that, so we don't need to worry about that. Ooh, and a frog upgrade stone. So I believe I've got a couple more tickets in one of my backpacks. Yes. So we can buy this epic frog upgrade slash pet. We can grab out the frog pet and then slash hub, and we'll go give it to cat for a quick little upgrade when I'm not stuck inside the ground. What is this? Legendary service Hypixel. Oh, yeah, we're in the air. Okay. That's how it's going to be. Right, frog, upgrade you, and you'll be epic in 3 hours. Right, so for now, I'll just reset up for killing ghosts again, and it'll come back to you once that's ready. Alright, so you got the better axe now. We're doing just over 200k damage. So what we can do is we can place down the black hole like that, and then it will consume it, and then we gain 1 to 2 shards per like thing. The only issue is including like the ghost attribute thing, which gives true defense. We'll need 352 shards, which is a lot. So this might take a while. I'll come back to you if and when anything interesting happens. Alright, so I thought I'd just claim like the max ghost one, just so that we got a bit of extra true defense. I'd die a bit less, so we can do that. And there we go, that's that attribute max, plus 10 Skyblock XP. So now we just need, what is that, 290 more. So basically what I've done is I've just put the black hole in the middle, you go up to a ghost, hit it until it stops like showing any damage around it, and then lure it back to the black hole, and then repeat that. The black hole does like suck in mobs as well, so you can sort of like go to the other side, start grinding another ghost, and then as long as it's roughly close to the black hole, it will be pulled in like that, and then eventually it'll be pulled in again. Yeah, and there we go, it's picked up one of the ones that we've already damaged. So yeah, this hopefully won't take too long, but it might take a bit, because I don't have particularly great combat stats, but whatever, it's fine. Alright, after this next ghost we should be coming up on a nice little milestone. Yep, it's called Death, and also Hunting 19, so what? Forge. So that's 1 extra hunt fortune, which is nice. I've also realised that so the black hole has a chance to double, but it doesn't just like give another shard, it like actually doubles how many shards you would have got. So if you would have gotten 2 shards, then you get 4 shards, which is actually really nice. Because that is a significant amount. Let me just get a few more ghosts cooking here. Right, and let's view our hunting box. Let's see how many ghost shards are at. Right, so 183. Yeah, and it is possible to do like multiple people. It's actually slightly more efficient in my opinion. Because then you got 2 people able to run around. And I have seen people using the gyrokinetic wand. We don't have that, but that is really useful because you'll get like all the ghosts like damaged quite a lot. And then if you gyro wand right where the black hole is, then they will be like reeled in, so it's much faster. But yeah, we need to continue doing it. Oh, and you also receive like loot share shards. I don't know how to describe that, but yeah, that seems like the most appropriate way to say get loot share shards. So if you damage a ghost, but then it goes into someone else's black hole, you also get the shards, which is very nice. Very, very nice actually. So this should massively speed up the grind if you got like a bunch of friends together who all want to grind the same shard. You can do this. You can do it very easily with Glazelight Walkers. The only issue is that, you know, people just grind them normally, and sometimes it allows them to kill the Glazelight Walkers even if you've like tagged them with your hunt axe, which I'm not sure why it's like that. That's probably a bug. But you know, there's so many Glazelight Walkers, it doesn't really matter. You just sort of place it in the middle and just kill them, and they all come there anyway. But yeah, just continue grinding. Hopefully it shouldn't take too much longer. We are going pretty fast now. But yeah, I'll see you once we got 320. Alright, if we go into our hunting box, we now have 321, so it's more than enough. So we need to get, I'm pretty sure, the same amount of shulk shards, which will be quite a lot, but you know, it needs to be done. So yeah, on to the next part of the grind. This will probably take much longer because actually the ghosts are pretty easy to do compared to shulkers. So yeah, I'll move to Galatalia now, so we can accomplish that next task. Alright, so technically if we go to the hunting box, based on what I was saying before, we are halfway there. However, I looked at this fusion machine, right, and if we do ghost and hide on leaf, then it shows 2, and then there's like 2 here and then only 1 here, so I'm fairly sure it gives 2 each time, in which case we actually have enough and we have over double the amount of ghosts that we need. So let's see this. Does it create 2? Or does it create 1? You will obtain 2 hide on cave shards. Right, okay, so we can do that. And then we want to repeat that. I wonder, no, we don't. We definitely don't want to do that. That's mass siphon. No. I wonder, can you just... Can I not be held by phantoms? Is there a way to repeat the last one rather than having to do that each time? Ah, yes. So we'll just have to do this a few times. Right, and that seems to be everything. Right, so if we do /HB, we can then mass siphon all of those, and there we go. That's that maxed. Skyblock level 371. We obtained 4 sweet from that, so let's have a little look. Highest level. Right, so these are all the maxed ones. Where is it? Right, there we go. So gain plus 50% chance to find an extra item in treasure chests and the crystal nucleus, which is very good. So crystal nucleus runs will now be very efficient. So what I wanted to do for the rest of the episode would probably just be to try and get as many unique attributes as possible. Although, looking at this, I might want to max this out. I'm not sure. Although I do want to just grind a bit of foraging XP first, probably until my frog is level 100. I slapped one of them common EXP boosts, not common. Yeah, common EXP boosts on there for foraging fortune. And at its epic, it's pretty nice. So hop grants that amount of foraging fortune for 20 seconds every time you jump, and that's already way more than what I say way more is 1.83 more than what the monkey gave, but you know, that's still much better. And then obviously that isn't even max level. I think it goes up to 80 foraging fortune, which is 20 more than what the monkey gave. And then it also increases your chance to catch shards, which is very nice. So it is better than monkey currently. So yeah, I'll probably just mine fig for a bit, maybe mangrove, I'm not sure. I did actually manage to max the mangrove personal best. I say max. It's at 99,996 logs, but it says bonus plus 10% sweep, so I'm assuming they just rounded that, and I'm not going to complain with that. So I'll probably just farm mangrove, because that will also get us a lot more forest whispers, which we can put into, I don't know, whatever we want really. Probably efficient forager, foraging fortune, and sweep. So I'll do one into sweep, one into fortune, and yeah. I might max out sweep, to be fair. Oh, actually no, it's probably better to max out efficient forager, because the foraging levels give us foraging fortune anyway, and then we can gain sweep from getting all the unique attributes. So yeah, I'll just grind out a bunch of foraging EXP, I guess. Might even be able to get foraging 50 today. What foraging level are we currently at? We are foraging, what's that, 44? Yes. So yeah, actually why not? We'll go for foraging 50 this episode as well, and then we'll look into a few unique attributes. So yeah, it's just a case of doing this, chopping down the tree, going to the next one, and then repeating the same thing. So I'll come back with regular updates. And that's Ocelot level 100. I've switched to this pet because extra foraging wisdom. Alright, I accidentally shot past it, and I didn't think I'd be saying this on this profile, but there we go. That is foraging 50, unlocked 200 foraging fortune, million coins, 20 skyblock XP. This lobby's closing, that's brilliant. Alright, let's just get to a new lobby. Alright, so now that we've got foraging 50 out of the forest, if I spell it right, we can put a tiny bit more into foraging fortune. I have reset my tree, so it goes like this, because the axe toss, I mean, it's just bad. There's not really much reason. I did have this initially, but I don't think it actually made a difference. I just swapped it out for this, so then when we get tier 6 we can immediately grab this and this. We're fairly close to tier 6, and then we got this lottery thing, which if it's mangrove fortune, I've farmed mangrove, but other than that I just farm fig because it's faster to get foraging XP. And then we're leaving all of these unless it gives us like a Starling prize. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, one of these, because I think I need 10 more for 20 in total, and that's for J-Drag. So then as soon as we get the egg, we can bulk claim the rest of these, because each of these they're giving what, 50,000 foraging experience, which is actually quite a lot. And you get harder forest XP from like tree gifts, so we should be able to get tier 6 just from the tree gifts. What we need to work on now is I do want to get most of the unique attributes, so like you only need one of each, because then if you look at David's cloak here, unlocking new unique attributes in your attribute menu. So I don't know if you need to siphon them, but as you can see, this gives like a lot of sweep, and this would massively help out. So what, 150? How many attributes are there? There's probably 150. Attributes menu. So what's that? 4 times 7 does 28. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 6 times 28, that's what, 104. Okay, yeah, so there's much more than 150. Yeah, so we won't need to get absolutely every single one. But, you know, sweep is very nice, so I will start off with getting, like, all these basic ones, and then we can, like, come back and claim them. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll get all the common ones that we haven't got yet, so up to here, and then we'll come back and claim those, and then we'll start working on the uncommon ones, which probably won't be that difficult, and then the rare ones may or may not be difficult. and then when we get to the epic, we'll probably have to do them like individually, or just pick and choose, to be fair. But yeah, I'll do the common ones and come back once I've done that. Alright, we got a bunch of new attributes. I couldn't do any of the common bird related ones because birds are really hard to get apparently, and I haven't had a chicken minion down, so I've replaced the cow minion with a chicken minion. But yeah, we can claim, we'll just siphon one of each of these, just so then, you know, we don't use too many. And yes, it does look like you need to actually siphon it before it counts. Yeah, I did get a few epics and stuff if I saw that there was stuff in the fusion machine. Anyway, what was that bringing our cloak up to now? 64. Right, so we've still got a fair amount left to do. Alright, we've got a bunch of other ones I just made by combining a bunch of random things in the hunting box. So let's just go through and claim everything. Right, there we go, that was pretty satisfying. And that's a bunch of new attributes gained. So what's David's cloak looking like now? Oh yeah. Right, we're really getting there. So yeah, I'll just do the same again. If we look at the attribute menu, it is beginning to fill up now. So yeah, I'll just look for a bunch more unique attributes, see what we can get. Alright, if we go into the hunting box, we've got a bunch of other stuff from pandas, which is pretty nice. And then just a few of these. So yeah, what is this looking at now? 81. So yeah, I'll stop at 100 because, you know, doing another 10 unique. I don't know, I'll see how easy it is to get to 100. If it's somewhat easy, I'll try and go a tiny bit further, but either that or I'll stop at 110 just because that's the last wisdom boost. Although, getting David's cloak to mythic might be cool. I don't know, it's already... Where's the legendary? Yeah, we'll definitely get it to legendary, but probably not mythic. I don't know, I'll see how difficult it is. Alright, we've got a bunch more shards. Let's just claim them. I did some pest related ones. Right, so that's brought us up to 86 now. But yeah, we'll probably stop at 100 unless I find another shard that's like pretty easy to get. Alright, we're looking at a hunting box. I found out that rain slime shards are actually really easy to get, although they don't really combine into anything new. However, I do have enough to max it out. So there's 10 Skyblock XP and Skyblock level 373. And I do think I have a couple more. Yeah, I got that one. Few frogs. Yeah. So what we're sitting at now. Okay, so the next upgrade is the legendary one, so we need 12 more unique shards and then we'll get to 100. I'm saying that as the goal because this episode is, I'm not sure, it might be pretty long, so yeah, once we get to 100 then we'll finish it. Alright, if we do /HB, we got another max level attribute there, and then a couple more. Although apparently we need hunting skill 20, so we can get that whenever we reach hunting 20, which, to be fair, we probably will. How many more do we need now? What was that, 11 more? Okay, yeah, so that only counts of one, but it is another max attribute, so, you know, still pretty good. Right, yeah, more attribute grinding. Alright, I was just gathering a few more ghost shards and we just hit hunting 20, so if we do hunting box, I did actually get this, Tempest, that's a new one, So I guess we can siphon both. Where's the other one that we couldn't siphon? Oh, I think I might have used it to create something else, so now I'll have to remake that, but you know, that's another one. And obviously hunting 20, which is very nice. Alright, we've got a couple new shards again. So let's just claim them all. Right, what are we on now? Right, one more. Yeah, we'll definitely stop at 100 because it's getting a bit annoying at this point. So that will upgrade the Cloak to Legendary, and then one after that will give us 5 sweep. What's the Cloak looking at currently? How much sweep are we getting? 67. Okay, yeah, that's pretty insane. Right, so just the last few, and then we'll stop at 100. If we press tab, there's me and 2 other people. We're just collecting a bunch of bruiser shards. So in our hunting box, we can max out not only Zealot, so that gives us an extra 40 defense in the end. We can also max out Bruiser, which is an extra 30% damage, so getting Terminator will be really fast. We got this from doing a dragon, which we also got superior chestplate from, because, you know, as you do. So now I'm just going to grind up a bunch more shards and then see if I can make anything interesting in the attribute, like fusion machine. Alright, it's an interesting day today. We get to make a full superior dragon set, so we got the full set now, and we can donate that to museum for another 15 Skyblock XP. So where is that sitting? Yes, right there. I mean, it's good. We'll probably have to wait until like we get enough horns to put renowned on it, because I think it's slightly worse than Sorrow. At least like certain stats. Sorrow's best for magic find, but not for like pet book or whatever. But yeah, I'm about to go into the glacier, not the glacier, the crystal hollows, and go get some fists. Also, don't do attribute hunting with a Gauntlet of Contagion, because it sometimes kills all of the 1 HP mobs, and that's really annoying. Just as a quick public service announcement. Alright, I should have the final 7 things that we need now. So if we do a hunting box, we have a Cinderbat, we have Hellwisp, we have Barbarian Duke X, Flare, Bow, Fist, and Sparrow. Yep, there we go, that is the maximum amount. I'll just claim the other ones that aren't fully maxed yet. Right there. So if we look in here, we have completed 100 out of the 150 you actually get the rewards for, but these final 50 will probably take a while, and I'll probably just do them in between episodes. What level are we finishing on? 373 and 86 XP into the next level. However, this is a bit tenuous because apparently the Heart of the Forest tree is just broken, so it's not counting this nearly 3 million Forest Whispers that we have. So that will probably put us up a level or 2. Actually, maybe 3 levels to be fair, because that's quite a few Forest Whispers. But yeah, so next video we'll probably start working on the Jade Dragon. There's a lot of common contests here, but you know, that's still a fair amount of foraging experience, so we won't claim them yet. But thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.